Right, we were going to talk about Caldas Da Rainha this morning, or
Yes.
Cali Dash, because it's so popular with the Americans. And
Not
tell me,
true.
what's so good about Caldas? We haven't done this before, Heather, and it could be a useful little guide, isn't it? I don't think the
Yeah.
popularity of Caldas is waning anytime soon. It's a fabulous city here on the Silver Coast
Yeah.
of Portugal. What made you choose it in the first place?
I didn't really. I actually I chose more by house, honestly, initially, because I chose region and then I chose by house because I was moving my elderly parents and we had very specific needs. So honestly, I got extremely lucky that my house is close to that wonderful city. So I think as far as the region goes in general, because there's a lot of really great places like São Martinho de Porto, Foz do Iguaçu, Peniche, Alcobaça, I could go on in this region, right? And part of it was just the logistics of being an hour from Lisbon and the airport and 20 minutes from the beach or less. Well, my house is 20 minutes. And but the city itself is an artsy city. It's got an amazing park that we go to often. I love walking the historic streets in town. There's another park called Mata, which is beautiful, really interesting, different park. It's got great restaurants. It's got all sorts of festivals all the time that are interesting and events. And it's just sort of the right size. It's very small but big. Like it has, I think we have like 14 grocery stores or something. It's like we have a lot.
That's the big ones, like supermarket size. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of choices here, and that's nice. And we have a Staples, and even though like Nazaré is so close, I have a friend of mine that lives in Nazaré, and but he can't get like file folders or something silly. Well, I think that there's one of the Chinese stores there, which again sounds racist, but it's not. It's what they call them here. And so he comes, he drives like 40 minutes or something. He comes down to Caldas to go to our Staples. Good old
I call
Staples.
them on the matter of Chinese shops, which we should perhaps clarify. I call them chingados. Is that bad?
Might be more racist oriented, but you know what? These days, whatever. I'm over it.
I don't mean it badly. I really
call
don't.
me whatever you want to call me. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Chinese shops are an incredible resource to the community.
They are. You need the big tubs to store your stuff. There's like 800 things that you're like, I need this. Where do I go? It's like the Chinese store.
Absolutely. So Caldas as well. Something I'll say about Caldas, and as well as its many supermarkets, you're absolutely right. Every kind of supermarket for every kind of taste, and you'll get into the Portuguese habit of going to one for some things and going to another for something else. And please go to the Praça da Fruta as well, the fruit market.
The fruit market. I was going to say, absolutely. The fruit market, 363 days a year. We have an open air fruit and vegetable market, which is the only 363 day a year open air market in Portugal, which is really cool. And yeah, we love the market. Absolutely. We have the fish market as well. And in the arts, we have the Bordalo Pinheiro with museums, the museum ceramics factory. There you go. There's your Bordalo Pinheiro.
Yes, that's from Caldas. That's where you'll see this iconic pottery look around.
My husband makes the best fun of that. He's like, because like he is not really into ceramics, and he's like, I don't want to go look at a plate, like a lettuce plate, for an hour or something. Like I don't know. He's funny. He does it well.
For the person who eschews the cabbage plate, there are the phallic potteries as well.
That's the other thing. Like, I'll let you explain that because I don't know.
I was hoping you might explain that.
Well, there's an old story, but no one knows the real stories.
Pedro can come back on and explain it. He's Portuguese. He should take responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Pedro, give us a thumbs up if you're happy to come and explain the phallic pottery of Caldas. What a sport! What a sport! Heather and I think it's disgusting. So what do you have to say for yourself?
No, I don't think it's disgusting at all.
I do.
Don't you dare say that with put my no.
I've been laughing for the last 2 minutes. You can't
Yeah.
imagine, because I remember seeing the face of so many tourists that go to Caldas Da Rainha for so many other reasons, and when they get there, it's like,
because there's these giant ceramic penises and magnets with penises, and
they are
like
even afraid of
cookies
sitting
and
down at a
penises.
restaurant because they look at the chair for it's like,
Some people might go specifically for that.
it is, it's been a tradition, and people, we tell jokes to each other about Caldas Da Rainha. It's like, when you see a guy acting funny or something, oh, you should go to Caldas Da Rainha. Come on, just have a seat there. But no, it's a tradition. I don't exactly know where it comes from.
Oh, it comes from a king that I think was bored. Like, one of the stories is like some king was bored and told one of the artists, like, to, I don't know, make something interesting. And he did. Yeah. And I was at the Caldas Nights festival the other day in the park, and we were just walking along innocently, enjoying the park. And there's this, it was funny because they were, politically correct. There's this person coming in this there's a woman in a flesh-colored, full-body blow-up penis, testicles, the whole nine, and then right next to her is her friend in the black penis. And then, so we have these two penis. I have a picture.
And the kids,
actually. It's really
and the kids
funny.
along.
Yeah, right. The kids along. Okay, exactly. And it was quite fun. They were good fun, and it was pretty funny. It made a good picture, and it was like perfectly appropriate to Caldas Da Rainha. Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah, didn't bat an eyelid. And so, as a final note, and if that hasn't helped the real estate agents of Caldas Da Rainha, I don't know what will. But, the funny thing about it is that there's no obvious center to me. On my first few visits there, you go to Tamar, and okay, I get this city. This is, there's that lane there, and there's a square there, and there's the church, and there's the monastery up on the hill.
You don't think the in front of the church by the cameras, kind of, where they do the Christmas tree lighting, that's like one of them, an area. It's one. It's not the most interesting. My favorite area is the main walking street, and then the other walking street off the fruit market. I think one of the fruit market is definitely a core. The park is the heart. And we just, the thermal hospital, I don't know. There's like,
but what I'm saying is, and this isn't a criticism, it's like, give Caldas a chance, spend time there, because you will go there thinking, well, okay, so I've seen the fruit market now. I don't, is that it? The other parts are hidden in a way.
Hidden. That's a cool. Absolutely, it's a cool thing about Caldas. And when I came in 2017 with my mom, we actually did drive through. We drove up to the park, but we didn't even go in because my mom was having back problems and needed surgery. And so we did a lot of our scouting Portugal from the car, honestly, because of her limitations. So I didn't even really see what was cool about Caldas at the time. Again, I liked the region, and through my other scouting trips and exploration, I honed into this area, but I just got lucky ultimately. And but it is one of those cities where I can see people drive up and they just snub their nose or whatever and drive on. Yes. But you're missing the beauty. The ceramics museum. Have you been to that, Carl? Because it's absolutely gorgeous.
That's what I'm saying. It grows on you. In fact, going back to the phallic imagery, it is a grower and not a shower.
It's a grower.
Okay,
that's a good one. You're right.
In the last minutes of the show this morning, let's just go for a God Squad tip of the day and some mindful memery. Mindful moment: do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Wow, that's quite the way.
Marcus Aurelius.
The second mention of Roman emperors this morning. Mindful dad joke: this recipe doesn't make sense. Add leftover wine. What the hell is leftover wine? Yes, that is a very good point. And the coach was in very early. Feliz quinta-feira. A bit stuck at home today, waiting for deliveries. Oh, I mean, the amount of hours that get wasted with people stuck at home waiting for deliveries in this age. So
Yeah.
will be mostly gone. In Portugal, they ring you and they will even deliver things to the local cafe. Get in that habit, folks. Definitely a little cooler today, but still low 20s. God's God tip of the day. 2 minutes of exercise is enough, said the headlines promoting high-intensity interval training, aka fartlek. And to a certain extent, it's true. 5 to 6 20-second maximum efforts is sufficient. What that fails to add is the need to warm up, cool down, and the recovery time between repetitions. So in reality, 30 minutes is needed. A minimum of 30 minutes is needed. Well said, coach. However, the benefits are significant. What these efforts appear to provide is a longer change to the metabolism than more gentle exercise, helping to burn fat and improve cardiovascular health. And finally, so whether the exercise is sprinting, cycling, swimming, rowing, or dancing madly around the kitchen, driving around in your convertible is not included in this. It's worth 2 to 3
It should
times.
be.
It should be, definitely. Pedro,
Unless
let's
you're
spread that
driving really
rumor.
fast.
Let's tell everybody that driving around in a sexy cabriolet helps you lose weight.
Actually, if you drive really hard on a mountain road, believe me, you're gonna sweat the hell out.
Yes, okay.
Believe me.
You're
Especially
right.
if Colin's driving, believe me, you will. As my cousin says of skiing, speed is your friend. Oh, I've had friends who said that, and my mum told me to stop being friends with them. Okay, let's look at the images to finish this morning. When you're ascending into higher levels of consciousness, but your ego has a fat ass. Okay, thank you for that. I wasn't expecting that this morning. On the next episode on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I don't get this.
Kardashians. Well, that's Kardashians. Gosh, you were just such not a geek. Every time I come on here, I'm always like,
that's
wow.
a compliment, Heather. You say this to me, and it's a
No,
compliment.
it's really not, actually.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. I love you anyways.
All right.
Kardashians is the name of that species.
Okay.
From
All right. Thank you for it.
Star
Thank
Trek.
goodness you were here. Global Nobles, you're very welcome. Great show as always. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with regulars Heather and Colin, and to meet our new mate here, Pedro. Pedro Bastos. It's so good to meet you. And thanks for sticking around for the extra half hour. I hope it's been fun for you.
It has.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon. So, round of applause for you both, and see you all tomorrow. Oh, see you on the webinar tonight for Expats Portugal. And Tamanya, até a próxima, and all the other Portuguese.
Beijinhos.
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 Beijinhos, abraços. Tchau, tchau.
Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.